Imagine a forest so old, so steeped in darkness, that its very whispers carry a curse. For centuries, Whispering Woods has held a terrifying secret, a malevolence so ancient it threatens anyone who dares disturb its slumber. 4 young investigators entered those woods, chasing a story, but what they found wasn't folklore. It was something waiting, something cursed. Whispering Woods lies on the outskirts of Greystone, Pennsylvania. By day, it appears picturesque towering pines, glistening streams, wildflowers blooming along narrow trails. But the beauty hides unease. Locals know the woods for strange occurrences, compasses spinning wildly, sudden patches of unnatural silence, and the eerie sensation of being watched. Some say the forest was cursed long before the town was founded, that settlers built too close to something ancient. Others whisper of dark shapes seen between the trees at twilight, their outlines dissolving when confronted. No one agrees on what lurks there, but everyone agrees on one thing: you do not go looking for it. And yet, that's exactly what Emma Clark and her friends did. They weren't ghost hunters or thrill seekers, they were storytellers. Students from Greystone University, eager to uncover the truth behind the forgotten evil buried in local legend. The group's research led them to chilling historical records, newspaper clippings from the 1800s, reported families vanishing overnight. Old diary entries described sudden illnesses sweeping through households after visits to the woods, and community records noted a pattern. Before each tragedy, the forest would fall into an unnatural silence. No birds, no wind, not even the hum of insects. The locals called it the silence before the storm. The watcher was said to be neither man nor beast, but something ancient, a shadow that fed on attention, growing stronger when spoken of. The settlers bound it to the woods, but in doing so, they created something worse, a curse that would echo for centuries. The journal even included drawings, crooked symbols etched in spirals, and a figure painted with hollow eyes and elongated arms that seemed to stretch into the tree line. Emma traced those symbols against the carvings she found on the trees. They matched perfectly. The watcher wasn't gone. It was waiting. The team had intended to film a documentary, but what they uncovered was far more sinister. Locals told them of hikers who vanished in recent years, their last phone recordings filled with static and faint voices calling their names. Hunters spoke of shadows pacing just beyond their firelight, and an EMT recalled being dispatched to the woods after a frantic call, only to find the caller's phone still warm, abandoned in the dirt, its recording app running with 30 minutes of whispers. As Emma and her friends camped by the ruins of an old homestead, the signs returned. The silence fell, swallowing the night. Jason's camera picked up low voices, though no one was speaking. Maya, the skeptic, swore she heard her name carried on the wind. They had come for a story, but the woods were whispering back. Some historians believe the curse could be contained if the original ritual was completed properly, with the same bloodline that first bound the watcher, but those families are long gone. Others say the only way to appease the entity is to stop speaking of it, to erase its memory, to let silence bury it once more. But the woods do not forget. They do not forgive, and they do not release what they hold. Emma's final journal entry, the only piece found after their disappearance, read, "The whispers follow us now. They said stories give them life. If you're reading this, you're already feeding it. The curse isn't in the woods, it's in the telling." So I ask you, was the curse contained in Whispering Woods? Or has the very act of telling this story let it out once more? Listen closely tonight, because if you hear your name whispered in the silence, you'll know it has found you too. Subscribe for more interesting stories.